Thanks for tapping in. Sexin and Flexin on YouTube. Go give them a follow right now. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. I had an amazing podcast with them. It was an awesome time. Don't sleep on those guys, please.
Welcome back to another episode of Sexin and Flexin Live Sunday. Got my co-host Levi, and then we got Jeremiah from Red Zone. What's up, bro?
What up, bro? Oh, Jeremiah, you muted, dog.
Yeah, your mic's muted.
Oh, my bad. What's up, guys? What's up?
What up, bro? What's good? Welcome back, Jeremiah. We missed you partial of the way on the other one. I don't even know what the fuck I was trying to say. I'm the only person not smoking here. Man, but yeah, welcome back, bro. I was feeling your energy last time. I think we left off on like the Burmese you were showing off.
Okay, yeah.
And then everything cut out and went to hell. Fucking StreamYard.
Yeah, that shit is fucked up. But go on, Jeremiah. Sorry.
Yeah, I was actually able to pick that up last year from Josh from South Bay Reptiles. He produced that. And he's got some there's gonna be another one I'm gonna have to get from him this year. He's got the pearl Burmese pythons.
Hell yeah. Josh the man, bro.
Yeah, he's cool people.
Yeah, I watch his stuff on the regular, man. He's an entertaining person too. Like, there's just something about him. He has like that charisma that just pops.
Yeah, it's way more lively in person, bro. Like, his videos are super funny and everything, but when you're actually in person with him, he's the life of the party most of the time.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. Did you make it to Pomona this year?
The one this weekend?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh, damn. Sorry, I didn't either because Chris decided to schedule us yesterday.
I had some work that was finishing up Friday and Saturday. But it looked like I did have some friends that went. They said that it was just crazy packed.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. Everything. My buddy Chuck, he was showing us on Instagram Live, dude. It was just people everywhere. Had some sick ass animals out there too.
Yeah, I want to go to one of those Texas shows. I've seen like kangaroos and aardvarks and some of the craziest animals. Texas.
Oh yeah, bro.
Arlington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's kangaroos at the show? I've never seen any kangaroos there.
You know what the hell you're looking for.
Yeah, bro. You gotta look. If you're not following Lone Star Reptiles, he went to the show. He's got pictures with it.
Bro, fucking yeah, right. He showed us on the goddamn live him at Arlington with a fucking kangaroo, bro.
Yeah, I know he was holding it, but I thought that was at his facility. I didn't know it was.
He said it was at the damn show. Get out of here, bro. Done with you. You live in Texas, bro. I would be, if I was in Texas, any part of Texas, I'd be living at Earl's house, bro. Like, I'd have a fucking bed on the porch.
Oh, yeah,
I want to put up with my shit inside the house.
Oh, my God.
He'd be my connect on everything. I'd need some kangaroos for sure.
Yeah, because in Texas you don't need a permit to own them, right?
I don't think you need a permit to own
For
it.
anything, yeah. We can pretty much own anything. We just gotta prove that we can take care of the animal. That's it.
Say less.
Nah, for real though. I've considered it.
Give me 40 acres in a trailer. I'd have some ostriches, some crocodilians. I don't want like a variety of animals.
What is that big bird called? The emu or the emu?
Emu.
Ostrich is bigger, and emu is like the smaller version.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those here too. Like outside in somebody's house, like on a house. We got
Yeah,
Emus
emu
so
have
and
emu I
ostrich.
think is like 200, 250 pounds. And ostrich, they're like 400.
Yeah, they're the world's fastest bird too, right? They can get up to like 45, 50 miles an hour on foot or something like that, I heard.
Yeah, you said it, not me, but I believe you're correct.
Yeah, so I think it's something like that. It might
I
even
know
be
it's
fast.
the biggest bird. They're huge.
Now I'm curious. I'm gonna fact check myself there.
I know. I'm googling it right now for you, but you could just keep asking questions, bro.
43 miles an hour. That is
Hell
stupid fucking fast for a bird, regardless.
yeah. So if you had some of those guard ostriches, I don't think anyone's gonna be fucking with your shit at night.
Hell no, that thing's gonna peck your head up. I think I should
Or
kill you. Actually,
some llamas too. You gotta have some llamas in there because those motherfuckers are deadly accurate with their spit.
You ever been spit on by one before?
Yeah, bro. So funny story. We used to live out in the country, and for like one day I came home, and there's like a llama just randomly walking down our street, and like nobody really lived around us. There was like two other houses, and within like a mile or two. So we're like, what the fuck? And never really found out whose it was, but we went and caught it and put it in a corral we had. But that thing was just spitting left and right. They're deadly dangerous with that shit. They're not nice. And it's hella funny too because they make like a little lip real quick and you know it's coming, and it's just usually it's a big old chunk of like grass or whatever the hell they last digested, bro. It's disgusting.
Huh. That's fucking
I'm-
that's so awesome. It's fucking gross now I'm thinking about it. It's awesome they can have accurate aim. It's disgusting what they do. So it's like getting musked on by a snake.
Yeah.
That's fucking gross. Oh, look who finally showed up to one of the lives, Mr. Pomona himself.
Chucky. Yeah,
We call him Chuckles.
he missed
Yeah,
me at the show probably.
I'm gonna start calling him Megan.
What?
I'll tell you later.
Anyways, hold on. I'm gonna do the show a favor. All right. So moving forward, what are all the animals that you do own, Jeremiah?
So right now I got a tegu. I got 2 types of iguanas, a tortoise, some bearded dragons, Ackie monitors, my Burmese python, and then outside I got chickens, silkies. If you guys have ever seen them, they're like miniature chickens that are super fluffy. They don't have like
cool.
regular bird feathers. They're super fluffy. Some of them are called showgirls. They're all naked on their neck and chest, and they just have hair on their top of their head. It looks like they have a little afro.
That's all badass.
I got mini pigs, ducks, and a little turtle pond, and then some cats and dogs. I think that sums it up.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, bro. You got a little bit of everything going on over there.
Yeah, a small farm. So I started when I first started with reptiles at all. Like when I got back into it when I was an adult. Me and my girl were literally just at the flea market, and they had some iguanas, and I was like, oh hell yeah, we should get like an iguana. I remember having these as like a kid, and we can name it Rango. The kids will love it. Right. Well, it was like a baby and it's probably 6, so it didn't last very long. And I was like, oh, all right. We'll get I was like, whatever. We end up going to PetSmart and there's a chameleon, and my girl said it was waving at her because it was like scratching on the window. She's like, it's so cute, we have to get it. Like, you could put it in Rango's cage or whatever. So then I end up doing all this research on chameleons, and one thing turns into another. I end up with like 4 different types of chameleons. I start breeding chameleons, and then I find out that chameleons are super hard to take care of as babies, especially out here in California where I live. It's super dry weather. It's hard to keep it humid. So I usually would lose like half my clutches. But I was doing Jackson chameleons, Panther chameleons. And I had 2 different types of Jackson. I had the rainbow Jackson's chameleons. It's not just green. It's like yellow, green. It has some other colors to it. And then veiled chameleons. And then from there, I just kind of sold my collection, and that's when I got into bearded dragons. And I had I bought a bunch of extra cages. Well, then every time we went to the pet store, whatever like caught my girl's eye or my impulse buys like crazy. So, oh yeah, I got an African bullfrog because like it was like a quarter, the size of a quarter, and I was like, oh yeah, this would be awesome. Like we grew it up, I've seen it in videos, so I ended up buying just an African bullfrog, and now it's like twice the size of my fist and it eats rats, and I'm like, why did I buy that? I'm never gonna do anything with this. Feed it for the rest of its life. You can't really touch it. It's mean as shit. You put your hand in the cage, it'll for sure bite your hand.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
And it has teeth, if you want to know. For sure has teeth. It has like 4 sharp ones too. 2 fangs on top and 2 on the bottom. And it'll latch onto your shit. Like I'll be wiping the side, and I swear it'll just be hanging onto the side of my hand. They're strong.
Damn. I didn't know Africa had bullfrogs until now. That is pretty cool, though. Now I'm interested. What's the husbandry like for something like that?
I just keep it. It has a large water bowl that it stays in. It's probably like a gallon, and then a little bit of dirt. They say that they like to bury themselves sometimes. Every once in a while, it'll just bury itself and like dry out. It's the craziest thing. It'll have like this dry skin around it, and then I'll pull it out and just put it back in its water bowl, and then the skin will just come off of it and it'll come back to life. It's the craziest shit, dude.
That is fucking weird.
Like it hibernates or something. I don't know. It does it once or twice a year.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah,
That is
it's the
pretty
nastiest thing, but it's like super interesting.
Now I fucking want one. Damn it. I have a chubby frog, man. Darian sold me a couple of frogs. One of them didn't end up making it, which it's typical for that species. Then he sold me a chubby frog, and my chubby frog's thriving. I fucking love that thing, man. Like I forget to post about him, but like I pull him out all the time and just have him like chilling in my hand. He'll jump on my arm and hang out with me for a second, and I put them back, and dude, they puff up when they're all pissed off. It's pretty cool.
So mine has like one crazy eye, right? Like the other one, you can tell that it's like totally fine. The other one, it always looks like it's like faced like straight up, like it's looking wherever and up at the sky at all times. Like I don't know what happened to his eye, but I call them crazy eyes. But you definitely don't want to hold this one.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I was like super into like predator stuff, so I had a predator tank that had some red belly pacus, red tail catfish, a peacock bass, and I had some, I forget what type of gar, but I had one gar in there too. And then I had a snapping turtle, an alligator snapping turtle. And then I was like, dude, I just like super am into all these animals that eat rats or that I could feed to get big. and then that's where all the. I ended up getting rid of the tank though, because you have to have a passion for that shit, because it once you get on a bigger scale where you have hella predator fish in one tank, you're like cleaning it like 2-3 times a week. It's a pain in the ass. So I ended up selling off my fish. I still have the tank. I might get back into it, but not for now. Too busy right now.
Right
Yeah,
on.
you do a lot, aren't you? Like the floors and stuff still?
Yeah, so we do LVP, laminate, hardwood, everything but I do everything but carpet. And then we do baseboard after. But I work for a contractor, and we do remodels from the ground up. Sometimes I'll do tile backsplashes and stuff too. I stay pretty busy with all that kind of stuff. What do you keep a large red zone in? What?
I don't know what he's talking about, bro.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had like something that was named after the company or something that.
I don't know. I think Chucky's too high right now.
Bro, he's always high. What's new?
Yeah, shit.
You keep a
Damn.
red
What
zone.
up, Tammy? Ken?
All right, what's up, Tammy? What's up, Ken?
Everybody's here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like working with my hands. The freedom too. Like you don't have to work as much. No one's like right there on your back. There's no customer service really, but the like 20-30 minutes you got to talk to people, doing the bids and collecting the check. Besides that, it's kind of just working with a couple of my friends, so it's pretty cool. I like flooring. I like seeing the house start like crazy, all thrashed up, and then by the time we're done, they look super nice.
It's like a feeling of like accomplishment. Like you did that hard work, and it just feels good after you look at it.
Yeah, people are going to be happy with that in their house for hopefully at least another 10-15 years.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I watch your reels all the time of the stuff that you guys are accomplishing, man. It's pretty sick to watch it go over the before and after.
So they want me to show this frog. Y'all ready?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's pretty cool.
That's it. That's it. What was that? Indian bullfrog. There you go.
That's crazy. So, I got the African bullfrog. The next big one I was always on the hunt for was the cane toads. They get hella big.
Cane toads. No, I've seen those. I've seen those before. Okay.
I don't
hard
know
of
if they eat. I mean, I imagine they eat rats and stuff once they get bigger, because they kind of eat anything that will fit in their mouth, I assume.
No, for sure. Makes too much sense not to make sense. Damn it! Now I fucking them up too. Hold on.
What's up, Fry? Hello, Big Mike.
Oh,
Tommy.
shit. Here tonight. What up, boys?
Shit.
We got everybody coming in now. Cane toads are actually easy to care for.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying they're hard. I was just saying I don't know what they eat. I just assume when they get big, like you're not going to be feeding it fucking fruit flies anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah, these motherfuckers get huge too. Oh, what the hell? It won't pull it up. This dude's got one like 2 hands on this frog.
Yeah, they get huge. So that's kind of like a bucket list animal. I
want a tree frog.
Look at the size of that fucking thing, man.
Bro, that's huge.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So, Jeremiah, question.
What up?
What's your favorite line of bearded dragons?
So I like Whiplets, that specific morph. I think that it's kind of like the most underrated one or overlooked one, because you can do so much with it. And there's a couple people that are just killing it with like the very high colored whiplets, the patternless bearded dragon. A lot of people are super into like the red monsters and dark reds, which is cool too. But if you like whiplets, then you could breed that into whiplets and start getting, more red, super red whiplets. Like nobody has done the patternless red dragon really yet. Like they're super high colored oranges, super high colored yellows, but you haven't seen like a darker pigment of red in whiplets. But I think that's the one of the cooler morphs to work with. It takes more time and passion because the way you have to breed it, it has to be done head to head, or your animals are just not going to be adequate when you bring them to market. And so the odds are against you from the get go. You're not going to get as many, so it's a harder project to work. But I definitely think that that's one of the coolest ones.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what, to fall into that category, I'm not too familiar with whiplets. I can't say that I've seen a whole bunch of them.
So
They're kind of like
Dustin Helens or Optimum Reptiles, they got they're ahead of the game on most people with the whiplets, the high colored ones. But I've seen Ruby Reptiles has a couple that are super dope, super good looking, high colored whiplets over there. Phantom always has some crazy stuff too.
Shit, I feel like I need to get more tapped into the bearded dragon community.
It's not very big.
Like I follow you, Chucky, Crystal Clear.
I follow a lot. I follow Phantom.
Trying to think.
Is it Christy from JK Bearded Dragons or?
Yeah, JK Dragons. Levi's way behind in the game. You gotta tap in with the big dogs. There's some cool people doing stuff. Definitely, when you want to check out like the red monster stuff, you gotta check out Ruby Reptiles. John has some really good stuff. Phantom's definitely one you want to check out. They got some really cool hybrid stuff. They always have like just some crazy stuff. We got Kids and Dragons.
I'm following these people as you're saying them. Hold on.
Fairy
He's not on the
Tale.
line. Let's do it now.
Dragons.
Well, I'm gonna show this frog that one that you were talking about. Is that it?
Yeah, dude, that's the cane toad.
That thing is huge.
Yeah, they're pretty gnarly looking.
And he looks mean
But just
too.
imagine, like, so if you were doing like a kid's birthday party, and you brought one of those out, like people would just flip out. Like that's not something that they even imagine exists. You brought that out, they would think it's fake. Like a big snake, everyone knows that snakes get big, but like, I think the wow factor of a giant ass frog or toad like that is just above and beyond most animals.
You can trip off their they're venomous?
No, I don't think it's cane toads, but the Saharan desert toad, also kind of a big toad, is what Mike Tyson takes.
Why would you lick your toe?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't recommend licking the toad either. I mean, so I'm not 100% on the cane toad, but I really just wouldn't lick any toad or frog or turtle. That just would not. I mean, I really wouldn't lick anything, but of all things, especially those.
Right, bro. But if you went to school and you filled up with this, I think they'd be like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah,
versus
see,
this,
that thing looks like it's tripping already.
right?
Shit.
I don't know, man.
I'll just be
I
like,
don't
hey
know.
man, I just smoke weed, all right? I don't know about the toad. I seen that stuff. But isn't it Family Guy where they all get like hooked on the toad?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about.
yeah. I don't want to do the toad, man. I saw what the toad did to Mike Tyson too. It's not good.
Y'all been leaking all kind of stuff. Don't knock the toad. Well,
Someone knows y'all too personally. I personally don't lick, you know, anything but maybe some like barbecue sauce off my lip.
Well, it's funny because I went out with Darian over at Rodriguez Reptiles last year, and where he takes us to go herping, there are a fuck ton of toads out there, and he's like, whatever you do, do not pick up one of these toads and then eat something. I will tell you, you will have a bad day.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker will piss on you right away too. As soon as you pick those things up, that's the worst part. Is they just pee on you. That's their number one defense mechanism is just piss on themselves. So you got a great defense because I'm definitely not gonna fuck with you after you piss on yourself. If someone came up to me and wanted to fight and then they just peed on themselves, I would be like, "You won, bro. I'm definitely not fighting you with pee all over you."
look at Jill. He thought you talked to my wife. Oh my god,
bro. All right, let's get back on the soul. I'm trying to find a picture of the toad that I went and relocated this year.
hey, what's your take on the Harley Quinns?
The what?
The
The
pink toad.
what?
It's a pink toad. It's called a Harley Quinn. It's a pink and black toad. But
Bro,
I'll get a picture. Gio, get me a picture, Gio.
I'm not the toad expert, that's for sure.
I was
I'll show
gonna
you right
say,
now.
bro, do we look like fucking toad experts to you?
No, but I was just asking.
I know that if you lick a bearded dragon, it's not gonna do anything to you. You might get some like E. coli.
Yeah, because they shit everywhere, bro. Water, everything. I bet. Man, yeah, you probably get sick. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Big
Good.
old
And
fat
they
fucker.
stink when they shit, bro. They stink.
This one peed on me. He wasn't happy to see me.
Yeah, so I don't know if people are gonna be upset about this or not, but like when I was a young kid, probably like 10 years old, my grandma loved bullfrog legs. So we just go down to like the creek and fucking catch bullfrogs all the time and then take them home. And so we were cutting them the legs off and cutting them and dissecting them or whatever. And one time my sister was still holding the heart while it was beating, like a little bullfrog heart. Yeah, those things, I don't know. It didn't die. It had no legs anymore.
He said that's why you don't lick
out,
them.
its little heart was still beating. That's why you don't lick them.
Because they have toxins.
I mean, I don't know why are we even talking about things to lick? Like the list of things you should be licking is a lot shorter than the list of things you shouldn't be licking.
How's your show turn into about licking? That's what I want to know.
Like there's like 3 things you should lick.
Go name them.
Get into them, but you know that list shouldn't be much more than one handful.
Yeah, you're right.
All these people got weird licking fetishes over here.
Gio, the type of dude that likes to lick feet, but anyways, we gonna move on.
Oh yeah, you did say that, right? Oh my god, look at this.
I lick
He
my
forgot
wife.
feet after that.
I mean, that's like number 1 on the list.
I mean, that should be number one. Yeah.
I knew someone was gonna go there.
Leave it to Gio.
If that's it's yours.
I think that's how that works.
I mean, that'd be cool. Just be like, Dick, it's mine. You're mine now.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. If that's the same rule that applies, I'm walking up and licking every fucking retic at a show. I don't give a fuck. Let me catch a salmonella.
Oh, dude, animals from the show are the worst. You know, they've been in that little what is the little plastic case for like 2-3 days, maybe longer. They've been
Yeah, you're right.
on themselves.
Okay,
Transporting animals to the shows suck, like bearded dragons or tegus. As soon as you open the cage, just piss and shit. You gotta change everything out.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good. I had a colubrid shit on me today. It's good times. Wasn't musking, just shit on me.
That sucks.
I don't know, bro.
That's the worst part about
Going
reptiles
before-
is they piss and shit on you at the same time.
Yeah. Have you been shit on by your berm yet?
No, hell no. Thank God.
He's like, hell no.
I hate to be that person, but it's not if, it's when, man. And it's going to be gnar. As they get bigger, it gets worse.
Bro, this thing's only like 3.5 feet, and the shits that come out of it are literally like this big. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's fucking crazy, man. Wait till it's full size, bro. Like
Like, I'm not trying to clean a fucking shit out this big. I'm like, what the hell? How did that come out of you?
Well, wait till it's full size, man. That's an understatement of what you're going to be dealing with. It's like a horse.
When I was a kid, I remember we had just regular Burmese pythons, and if we couldn't find like large rabbits, we'd feed them like 2 or 3 smaller ones.
Oh,
And the one big one would be fine because it'd be just like one big turd. But no, the 3 littler ones would just spray those all over the place. It'd be so gross cleaning out those cages.
ugh.
Yeah.
Does not make me excited for my retake being adult size. That's the one thing about these larger animals. The larger the snake, the larger the lizard, the bigger the shits.
Yeah, lizards. Well, so lizards kind of suck too because as you get like bigger monitors, bigger water bowls, and then they love to just shit in their water bowls. So if you don't have like some type of filtering that water, like you're doing water changes pretty often.
Yeah, so speaking of Josh, that's why I was watching one of his stories. Or was it Josh? No, Josh was a bigger snake. Was it JTK? Somebody posted a fucking funny story. They had just changed a ginormous water bowl. It was literally 30 seconds later, the lizard jumps into it, shits, jumps out, and like looks at him. I was like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Dude, I swear. What,
bro? How are we still on this frog kick, bro? We're talking about fucking shits right now.
Bro, look at that. That's a Harley Quinn pink and black coat.
Yeah. That looks wild. That looks like a dart frog, though.
Nah, it's a Harley Quinn.
Is it big?
I know because I had bought one for a friend. They were only like $125.
I thought it was like exotic over here. It doesn't sound that exotic.
It's pretty cool.
Someone had one of these African bullfrogs at one of the shows for $400. Dude, that thing was like this fucking big. It's ginormous. Like you could for sure put your whole hand in its mouth. I don't know if you'd want to do that, but you could.
Fisting a frog sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like you'll see when they're hungry because they kind of like get a little bit deflated on their sides, and then they'll eat something literally the size of them, and just be like bloated for like 4 days, 5 days, and then just take a giant shit.
Well, if you think about it, snakes do the same shit.
But think about it. A frog is so small. Like, how big is that digestive system? Like, its stomach literally has to be attached to its asshole. Like they're not very big. It's got to be like mouth, stomach, asshole.
What? Why are we danging me now?
No, bro. What did you say? But Bosa wants to sell his for 400.
So what for 400?
It's
That's
both
what
of
I said. I was like, dang, I need to get mine bigger so I could sell it for 400 too. I don't know if it's sold, but they had it for sale, I guess. They had like a big Mata turtle too that was like,
Oh, those things are cool, man.
Way too big for me to put in anything.
How big do Matas get?
They're pretty big.
This one was the biggest I seen. It was for sure like 2 feet in width.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it was pretty massive. If I had to guess like weight, it's probably like 20 pounds, 30 pounds.
Interesting. Have to get on it.
Yeah, I like snapping turtles. So I want another one. Unfortunately, mine passed, and they're illegal here in California. So like, I have to find them like, just randomly on Craigslist or something. So I don't know anyone that be shipping any illegal ones. Or I told her, if you do, just tap in to my DM. I don't know if you guys can get in trouble for that. I don't have any right now, so I can't get in trouble. But
yeah, I can. They're illegal here.
that's unfortunate.
We mimic.
Well, you're in Florida, bro. Like they kind of took the fun out of everything there.
No, he's in Arizona.
I was gonna say I'm not in Florida. Don't insult me like that, sir.
Dang. So it's not,
Sorry,
it's not
Buzza.
terrible for you, Eli. Then
No, we got pretty lax laws outside the venomous and like crocodile.
So tell me this isn't the stupidest shit, right? So I want a Gila monster super bad, right? Like you can't have them in Arizona, and you can't have them here in California either. But you can have a beaded lizard that gets like 5 times the size, and they're way more aggressive.
It has nothing to do with the species. So the danger of the species to the humans is us being the danger to the animal. They've been protected.
If we're allowed to, breed it in captivity, then no one has to go catching the ones in the wild, anyways. I don't know. That's just if they would let us breed them.
That is dumb. I'm just like thinking about it in my head.
Because they're literally the same.
Yeah, I was going to say the same
animals, thing. Just one's a different color and a little bit smaller. But yeah, I think Gilas are so I'm from Arizona too, and I've been out in like the desert and I've seen them in the wild, and I think they're super cool. So I used to always I never touched them or anything, but I always had a fascination with them. And then when I got older, I was like, oh, I'm for sure buying some Gila monsters, and I like looked into it and I was like, oh yeah, no, they're like super protected and you're definitely not allowed to have one. But your next best thing is some dope-ass beaded lizards. And there's a wide variety of colors of those you can pick out, too. They're still super cool. Just they're not that glowing orange.
I thought you were breeding those,
me, Brad.
Right?
No, Brad? We're officially not friends right now, Brad. Until you ship me one out of your 3, can't be friends, man. Or
I thought you were breeding them, though. I don't know.
So I always thought about this, right? Like, because there's like certain websites you could go on, right, to buy reptiles, and there'll be like crocodiles on there, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you can't ship to California." I'm like, can't you just say it was a bearded dragon and like put the crocodile in the bearded dragon box? Like, are they really gonna open it and check out if it's a bearded dragon? I'm just saying, I feel like someone could get away with sending me a crocodile or a dwarf or a Gila monster and,
right?
classify it on the outside as a bearded dragon. Like, even if they X-rayed it or whatever, they'd be similar size,
Yeah, you're right. I could see that, yeah.
I mean, the one thing, we really shouldn't be having this conversation, but fuck it, we're already this deep into it. Nothing stops you from going to get the animal. Who's going to check your car across state lines?
Yeah, so if they were offering like, a permit that didn't say you needed like 40,000 hours, which I think is slightly ridiculous to get like a venomous permit, I would be like totally down. Like if California is more like Texas, like just kind of let you pay for everything as long as you're being safe with it and not being stupid. I'm totally down with that. If you even if you have to have like checks, if you're like, yeah, I want to buy venomous animals, and you guys can come do a check every 6 months to make sure my facility's up to par. Not so much on like having a million anti-venoms, but like if your cages are secure and everything, because I think like the anti-venoms like are super expensive and they're only good for so long.
Yeah, but I would be on the opposite end of you on that one. Whatever venomous that you own, I strongly believe that you need the anti-venom there at your facilities, and it needs to be good because...
So I'm not against... So my thing would be not have it at your facility, but like if it's available at local facilities around you, like a doctor's, if they can source whatever venom is needed or anti-venom is at your facility, then that would be what you're allowed to have, right? But like if they don't have Western Diamondback anti-venom near you at all, like you're not in Arizona, then you probably shouldn't have that snake anyways. Like if you have a king cobra in fucking Arizona and no one around you has anti-venom, probably should own that animal.
Okay, no, that's what you're saying. Yeah, so like the common cap, that makes sense. But like, yeah, it's the exotic venomous that's like, because then they got to start pulling from zoos and like specialty facilities, and it gets really sticky and really expensive on you, the zoo, the facility, and everything that gets drug into it.
See, I would just like to have like one rattlesnake, even if it was one that was like a local native rattlesnake that I could just feed every once in a while and just
You guys can't even keep her local?
What? Yeah,
you guys can't
local rattlesnakes in California.
No, you guys can't keep your local. Like you guys can't, like in Arizona, we can at least own our own venomous. Like we can't own outside, but we can own here with
you can't have any. The only thing venomous you can keep without a permit, I believe, as far as I know, is a beaded lizard.
Interesting. That sucks. Well, California's not worse than Arizona.
No, but I want to go to somewhere like Texas instead. Where I could have like kangaroos.
Yeah, you still that kangaroo,
dude. You're telling me you want to own a kangaroo?
That's
I would.
Badass.
I would teach them the box.
Like, have you ever seen the one that Jay's Prehistoric goes and sees and it's all buff?
Yeah.
And like pulls him into the cage. Like, dude, I'd be working out with my kangaroo for sure. Like, he'd be in his cage, but I'd give him like stuff to work out.
Well, I don't know. If my kangaroo kicked me, I know I'd be walking out of there with broken leg.
Broken leg.
No. I would never even. So this is my thing. I would never get near close enough to where it could like attack me. Like I would totally love to own like hella exotic animals, like lions, maybe like some deer, like a giant buck or something, maybe like some moose or something. But I would never ever get in the cage with it. Like I'd have some type of way you just like drop the food in and it slides down a little slide and then right into its food bowl or something. Like there's gonna be no one-on-one interaction with that shit. Like monkeys too. Like I've seen too many bad things about monkeys. Like I don't think I would ever own a monkey, just because one, they're like super smart, and I think they're too smart to be like put in a cage, and then they like just grow resentment for you, and then that one chance that you don't lock the cage, they get out and rip your fucking arm off and beat you with it.
Man. I like that.
Dude, like, so I don't even, it's been on like multiple wildlife shows or whatever, but like this couple owned orangutans or whatever. And then like one time the wife comes home and like one orangutan had like killed her husband. Like, I don't want that to be how my wife sees me dead, like by monkey assault. But
that would suck. Yeah.
if I could own like a small pack of baboons that I could like feed from afar, so sick. I'd definitely have that.
That would be pretty cool.
Like a nice perimeter around my house of just like instead of having a moat with crocodiles, I'd just have like a pack of baboons that like patrolled around my lot. That'd be like the scariest thing. Tell me you're gonna break into someone's house that has attack baboons around their house. I wouldn't.
Hell, that's gonna fuck you up. You're gonna have a real bad day if you even live.
Oh, you're for sure not living. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they could like they're strong enough to like rip your limbs off, and then they got fangs that'll just like that are like 6 inches long. They'll just bite you in the back of the neck, break your neck.
So we got several questions here for you, man.
Yeah,
First
I
one is,
would not want baboons. They are good. No, I'm with you. So I want them just to see them from like.
they would be a visual animal, not an interaction animal.
Yeah, I just want to give like 10 of them their best life, you know, or like some hyenas too, like, you know, just give them like, you know, 10 acres to just run on, but every once in a while see them feeding, show people them, but I wouldn't want to necessarily like interact with them. I think it'd be just cool to see them and not have to go to Africa.
So like starting like a sanctuary would be my best thought process and something like that.
Yeah, see,
because they end up here and it's, you know, the same thing that we deal with the reptiles, where it's like, oh shit, this thing tried to eat my face, I don't want it anymore, here you go.
Yeah, but I'd only like sanctuary like one at a time, because I'd only want a small pack. I wouldn't want to breed them. I wouldn't want them to grow. I just want like 10 hyenas that I could feed, you know, like maybe like 2 lions, like one male and one female, not put them in the same cage, just like, you know, show people.
That'd be pretty badass. So what's your next project?
My next project?
That's not kangaroo or monkey related.
Oh, dang. No.
You know, fuck around, he's gonna pop up with a kangaroo.
So this year I'm hoping to get my Ackie monitors to breed. This will be like the second year that they've been showing any type of interaction with each other. But isn't that what zoos are for? Zoos are more or less like breeding facilities for captive bred animals that are like exotic. Like they do have breeding going on as zoos. It's not just for keeping captive bred animals. They do try to supply other zoos to do education with these animals without taking them from the wild, and produce captive bred animals that are spread out and put into the zoo. So not all animals in the zoo come from the wild. Most of them are already bred in captivity, and just they start their life off in the zoo. I don't necessarily want to do that. I'm just talking about having like some kangaroos and, you know, like an anteater and, you know, some armadillos and just random cool little shit that I could have my own personal zoo if I was like a millionaire, like, you know, Mike Tyson says.
What's up, Jake?
Yeah, no, I get the thought process behind it. I think about that shit all the time too. Is like some of the.
See, I wouldn't want a lion either. I would definitely not. But like a jaguar, like the all black one. Oh, bro, so sick. Like that'd
be badass.
A polar bear or something. Like I wouldn't want just like your regular bear, like, or a grizzly, like the just gnarliest, biggest grizzly bear. I don't know. That'd be cool as fuck though. Like
that
maybe one of like the biggest predators from each continent or country or something. Like that'd be dope.
That would be dope. And then, I mean, I would take it a step farther and try to like figure out how to make it like a conservation thing too, just to fuck around and find out.
But I'd want water too, so I'd want like some huge ass like white sturgeon or something that like people could hand feed, or like a giant ass tank with like peacock bass or maybe a giant huge saltwater tank with like some groupers, like show people how big those fuckers get. Like,
dude, groupers get fucking massive. What would oh my god, what would a tank even be? You wouldn't even be able to put like a tank you'd have to build like an outdoor.
Oh yeah, it'd be like
You'd have to have a fucking swimming pool.
it'd be like 10,000 gallons or like 50,000 gallons. It'd be something massive.
God damn. Sturgeon and a group. Oh fuck. Damn. Just having one. Do you know the size of the fucking pool you would need for that thing?
Yeah, no. You definitely have to have some money. It'd probably be like $1 million. A little setup for something like that, but that'd be cool.
Oh boy, stingrays. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I love stingrays. Like the diamond black stingrays. Those ones are super sick. But arapaima too. Like just have like a super sick saltwater fish and then freshwater. Like the arapaimas are sick, hella big.
They are. They're huge. Our aquarium here has a couple of them, man. They're pretty animals.
And the arowanas get big. I definitely want what can I think of like that? The soft shell turtles. Fuck.
The snapper?
No, they have the little pig noses. Oh, I can't think of their names. But it's a freshwater turtle. Fly river turtle, that's what it is, yeah. So I don't know if someone said it. But yeah, fly river turtle. Those are cool. A bunch of those. Those things are like the coolest little turtles ever.
Fuck. So we need to get Jeremiah in the running for the lotto so we can see what he does with that money. That's what I'm hearing.
Bro, I would not be the guy that took all if I did win, right? I would not be the guy that took all the money right away. I'd definitely get that monthly income and I'd just be blowing it.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm vibing on this one, Jess. This is pretty fucking fun. I like this.
Because think about it, like if you won like $1 billion and you were getting paid like 40,000 a month, like you could easily do something extraordinary with that.
Yeah, for real. I was thinking about it when that fucking whatever the largest lotto was, like what I would do with it. It was like the hottest conversation at the time was what would you do with that money? You know, even in segments, it would be a stupid amount of money and you'd just be able to fuck off with it. Do all kinds of crazy shit.
First, I would find out where I could own the most variety of animals, and that's where I would move to.
That's Texas or
like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, or Pittsburgh.
Shit, even if it was Mexico, I'd fucking wherever. If Brazil was like, hey, you can have whatever the fuck you want out here, I'd be like, hell yeah.
From what I understand, man, like we're not. I know there's a handful of like smaller countries that allow whatever keeping that you have, but we're one of the most lax countries overall as far as like exporting animals go. A lot of these other countries have like very, very strict import rules.
Shit, Mexico eats their iguanas and stuff, so I don't think they'd be tripping off me trying to keep some animals out there. But yeah, you're right. No, they're crazy. They don't want beetles, like anything, the smallest of insects. When you go through the border or whatever, and they go through your stuff, and you're flying or whatever. If you take food items, they look for everything. The smallest of beetle, they say, could like wreck just the whole agricultural.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, customs is fucking tough, man. When it comes down to like certain things like bugs, food.
Yeah, bro. They'll shake your like beans or whatever you have. They'll shake them out, kind of put them on like white paper towels, and then they'll look at it under a magnifying glass or microscope, and they go super hard on insects and stuff like that, and bird like importing, like people stealing birds. Like I didn't even know that was a thing, bro.
There was a show on Netflix about that, man. It was actually a really cool show to watch, where when you get to see customs do this shit because of the the havoc that these animals can cause. Bats are another one. People be like trying to smuggle bats and shit.
Have a cave and some bats, right? Like, you know how people have like bird houses on their property, so that birds like owl houses and stuff. I would definitely like build a cave for some bats on my my property. That would be just sick as fuck.
That would be, dude. Have you ever like not interacted, but seen bats in the wild and
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
so fucking cool.
There's some caves about an hour from my house. They're like old mining caves. And if you go deep enough, there's hella bats. But if you go in like too early before they are like while they're still like roosting or whatever, fucking you could be halfway through the cave and all of a sudden just the bats start coming out like crazy. And there's been a couple times where you just like opened up a backpack and just let them fly in there and then zipped up the backpack and like took them back with us and tried to keep them, but they always died. I know it's fucked up, but I was a kid, so.
So real quick, let's talk about this because this has been eating at me for a couple of days now. For anybody that's not paying attention, please pay attention. USR just put out an alert on Washington, and that ban is the Lacey Act all over again. And it's, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, it's about to go in. They're on the final stages of voting, correct? But regardless of where it's at, it's bad. You know, here's a big time breeder I know of offhand that's out there. D's balls and exotics. You know, Dylan's out there. We need to help him out. Jump on usr.org. Follow the step by steps. Just send as many emails and whatever you can do to get involved to help them out there. It's bad, man. They're the next Florida.
Yeah.
If you're not a USARC member, please become a USARC member. We need to strengthen numbers when they go in there and they're talking to these representatives about why they don't need this passed. It really helps them to go, hey, we're 1 million strong. You know, there's 1 million people throughout the nation that support this. They're responsible keepers. We all do our part. Let's shut this down, put an end to it.
Yeah,
that passes, and it's who's next? You know, Washington does it today, Arizona does it tomorrow, then California follows suit, and then New York follows suit, and then it's a downward spiral from there.
Bro, I just want to know, what is everybody going to do, like, when they do pass everything? Because I feel like everybody's just waiting for it to happen instead of acting on it. I'm just saying.
That's...
Yeah, I don't know. So, like, I feel like a lot of people are like, all right, yeah, go support USARC when, like, it's, like, the cool thing. But, like, nobody, not nobody, but, like, the majority of people don't keep up and look at the ones that aren't super publicized, right? So, like, USARC doesn't have, like, a huge following on Instagram. And all the people like us that have bigger followings, just sharing their stuff gets it out. So more people see it. And then they kind of want to jump on the bandwagon, so they share it. You know, so whatever they got to do or we got to do to get more people to be aware of what's going on, I think helps a lot, because a lot of people don't keep up with it, what's going on themselves, or USARC isn't super active at posting, so it's not like the most, you know, when you look at people that you interact with and most interacted and least interacted, I bet you most people would see USARC on their least interacted people.
Damn, so they won't be able to even display or exhibition of the animal? Either?
And then it's also the import export of the animal, and it's per city limits, I believe, right? That I read in there. So you can't do it. They're tying your hands. They're not banning the animals, but they're banning the animals.
Moon over Miami.
You know, just like the Lacey Act, where they're not saying you can't have the animals, but they're tying your hands to where you really can't have the animals. So it's, again, another fucking covert operation by the government trying to reword things and do what they do best and sneak things through the dead of night. Apparently, what they're doing with Florida. Just a heads up, guys. That's how the Patriot Act fucking got through. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. I don't give a shit where you vote or who you vote for, but that's how that happened.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are like, well, that's Washington. It's not going to happen to us or whatever. But once they start passing it in other places, they'll be like, well, look, Washington passed it, or, California passed it. So they'll try to pass it. So I don't think California is going to be like a super big one. They would ever try to stop the reptile industry at all, just because they make so much money off of it, right? And California's super greedy, so whatever they make money off of, like even weed, like no matter what, even however illegal it is or not illegal it is, they want to make their money, so they always have their hands in it somehow. So I don't understand why Washington wouldn't want like the tax money from the reptile industry, and maybe it's because they just don't make enough tax money. So now if it doesn't pass, maybe they start taxing it more.
No, I agreed, and that's actually how Arizona got through to our representatives, was bringing up the dollars, the money, the revenue, and the damage it would do to the economy to take away all this money that's flowing through. I mean, you think about the number of reptile shops that are in Arizona, and it continues to grow every day. California is another. I think you guys outnumber us. Like the last time I looked, it was like 3-1. For every 3 shops you guys have, we have 1. Just to give people a retrospective, like if you don't know how big California is,
my city, there's probably 4. And my city's not that big. There's probably 4. You go down to Sacramento, there's probably somewhere around 20. So there's a lot of reptile shops out here. And not even just that, just like zoos as well. Like that's a huge income for, a lot of the cities out here. Oakland, LA. So
San Diego.
It affects a lot of people. Like up north, they even have like a safari that you can stay at. It's like an overnight safari. You stay in kind of like a safari looking rooms and everything. And then you go out, they have lions and giraffes and zebras and shit like that. So there's a lot of private zoos and public zoos, as well as shops and stuff. And even the vet cares sometimes they have to go to other states, to get taken care of, because that's where the vet is, and vets are usually pretty busy. They don't want to travel to you. So that stuff kind of affects the health care that you're able to get for your animal sometimes too. Not just keep the animal, but the health care.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's a downward spiral. That's the best way to fucking flushing a toilet, man. It's going to get worse and go down and down and down. Start a whirlwind effect, and I mean the cause and the effects that it has to us is just it's detrimental to the hobby. It's detrimental to every breeder, every species keeper, every animal keeper. It's hard not to get into a doomsday thinking when this kind of shit starts to happen, because it's really the thinking that needs to go into it. Like if this happens, that's it. Like, I mean, every state needs to take note of that too. Like you may not be in it now, but you're going to be in it. And if that state passes, you might as well just start handing over your rights, because it's like you're giving them the power. We're just handing it over. Might as well put it on a silver platter.
And people got to think, when something in your state is going on, you're going to want the help from others. So it literally takes, like USARC makes it super easy. You can most of the time copy and paste whatever you need to send to your senator or your representative, and just put your name, fill in some things, and send it. Like it takes maybe 5 minutes. Most people could do it on a break while at work. So just remember, like that 5 minutes it took you to help somebody else out, when it's your turn to get that help, they'll probably do it for you, but put yourself in their position. Make sure you're doing it for them. I know
Exactly.
a lot of people in Washington too.
Bro, there's a lot of people everywhere, but it's just not a lot of us in the reptile community that, like, in certain areas. I know Florida and California were flooded with reptile people.
Like if they made flooring illegal, you know how upset I'd be if you guys didn't write into your congressperson or to my Congress. They're like, come on, guys, you just gotta write in that you want me to be able to do flooring for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and something that the folks in Washington can do, and I mean this is going to be Washington specific, is reach out to your local representatives, get to know them, talk to them. Maybe a little bit too late now, but it's still worth trying. Get to know them, talk to them, let them know, hey, like if you do this, that puts an end to my business. I know a lot of people out there breed reptiles, and that's their only income. When you express that kind of stuff, they do listen. And again, if they don't want to listen to that, it's about the economy. Hey, you know what? That's money that I'm bringing into the state. That's money that this pet shop's bringing into the state. This is money that's flowing.
And let them know, like, so you, at the end of the day, the only reason they're in office is because your vote. So say, hey, you want my vote next year? There's 100,000 of us in the state that are not going to vote for you next year because you voted against this reptile thing, and that's kind of what we do for a living.
Exactly. And that's a that's an interesting subject that I had to face with a couple of people that know which way I vote, and I was like, you know what, honestly, this is what I live for, this is what I'll die for, and whoever's willing to support it really is going to get my vote. That's how that works, because this is where my life is. This is where I spend time with my kids. This is where I spend time with my wife. This is where I spend time on YouTube with the homies, the friends, brand new breeders. This is what we do. I live for this shit.
And I know, like earlier, I was talking about, like illegally owning a alligator snapping turtle or whatever. But I just think that law is stupid. Okay, I totally respect everything USARK does, and fish and game and wildlife and everything they do with hunting and catching people overfishing, and because I want all of that to be available for my son when he's old enough. I want to be able to take him fishing, or, I want to be able to take him hunting. I also want him to be able to keep all the animals that I do as well. So it's about passing it on as well, not just keeping it right now.
Yeah, exactly. There's just there's more positives than negatives, and joining USARK and fighting for what's right throughout this.
And so I don't understand. So my whole thing with the snapping turtle too, I just want to touch base on this. Like, you can own a fucking crocodile monitor, right? But like, you can't own an alligator snapping turtle. Come on, like, it's a fucking turtle. It's not gonna reproduce hella fast and take over the whole environment. Like, it's not gonna rip my neighbor's face off like a crocodile monitor could. Just saying, like, it's not the worst thing if they just made alligator snapping turtles legal everywhere.
So, all right, let's spin this real quick, right? Because this is something I've talked about, and I'm really off to talk about this because it makes it fun. You want to change that, right? And there are plenty of keepers around the nation that want to change the reptile laws and make things more the exotics capable. Like, I hear the number
it's
one.
Not even exotic. I could go to Oregon and they're fucking right there wild. It's one state away from me.
Okay. Arizona, right? The number one thing I hear about bitching and complaining is that we can't keep outside venomous, right? That is the number one complaint. Even people outside of my state complain about this.
Wait, you can't keep your venomous outside?
No, we can't keep outside venomous. We can't keep any venomous that is not local to Arizona. We can't own cobras, taipans, nothing. We can only own what's found here in the state.
That makes sense. I kind of touched on that earlier. I think that's how it should be.
But people complain about not being able to own outside venomous, right? And they want it to be to where it's easier to obtain the permit and do things responsibly, and we want to change things, right? Let's go back to USARK. If we can get our shit together and we can all become responsible keepers and everyone's doing the right thing, and the government doesn't have a reason, rhyme or reason to go, hey, I want to ban these animals, or hey, we're after your hobby. we mind our P's and Q's and we're on the best of the best behaviors and we make ourselves look phenomenal and they back the hell off, that opens up USR to where they're twiddling their fingers. You know what happens when they twiddle their fingers? We can go to them like, hey, we need your help in changing these laws because you guys are, that's what you do. That's the legality of it. They go to these senates and congresses and all the fucking fancy people that get paid a lot of money to tell us what to do.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd be willing, pay for a permit or whatever I had to do. I just want a snapping turtle, whatever I got to do. If I got to tag it, like the whole tegu ban, like I get it. I was totally with Florida, but like I kind of also understood like if you're gonna keep the animals and be a responsible breeder, like having certain cages and having them chipped and shit like that makes sense because there was always like somebody getting their animals stolen and then half the animals got out because they fucking were fighting back while the people were trying to steal them. So like there was a lot of shit getting loose out there and like I see how invasive they are because they breed really well out there, right? Like tegus are pretty good and they breed in like 30 40 eggs sometimes. That kind of makes sense, but like an alligator snapping, well, I mean, I guess you don't want an alligator snapping turtle in your local river, right? So like if it had to be chipped like my dogs are, because my dogs have to be chipped, have to have rabies shots, all that shit, like I'm down with it. Then I'd even put a GPS tracker on him because if he did get out, I'd want to know where the hell he was too. I want my turtle.
Yeah. And see, all that becomes possible once we get, like this Washington ban taken care of. Once we get people to be more responsible overall, and we could prove to the overall powers that be how we're responsible keepers and we're willing to do stuff like that, that's when the door opens to be able to make that change. But we can't even, could you imagine trying to make that change right now, bro? It just wouldn't, people would laugh at us.
So I don't even, with the Washington thing, right? Like they're going after like the whole entire pet trade. Like they're not even just reptiles, like guinea pigs, mice, rats, fucking birds, anything like that. Really want that snapper.
Yeah,
man. I had one and I don't know what happened. Like it was totally fine. It was eating, and then like one day I just came home and my little snapper was just floating. I was really upset. His name was Godzilla too. He looked like a little Godzilla floating in the water, and then he'd come up and it's the coolest thing. I don't know. They're cool as fuck.
Yeah, bro, they're definitely not for everybody.
Yeah, I want an alligator snapper for me.
If you're in Oregon, or I think they're even in Washington, like if you're just like out there, like there's wild snappers out there.
Yeah, they're in Oklahoma too. Is that right? I want to say there's some in Oklahoma, Texas.
I just want one.
Hey, I just want to throw this out there. Anybody like come across a small crocodile or alligator, just send it to me.
Shut up.
Yeah. First, actually send it to me and make sure you label bearded dragon on the outside.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. You got to label bearded dragon on the outside.
Y'all are killing me right now.
Cayman, alligators, dude. So funny story, right?
Jasmine, that's a turtle.
Because I never actually got the animal, but somebody called me and was like, "Hey, my boy has this crocodile," and I was like, "Crocodile or alligator?" And he's like, "Man, what the fuck's the difference?" I was like, "You're right. What is it?" I was like, "Go on with your story." He has a crocodile, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like 3-4 feet long, but he wants to get rid of it." And I was like, "All right, how much you want for it?" And he's like, "No, fool, he wants it for free. He just wants someone to come pick it up. He's like afraid of it." And I was like, "Hell yeah." I was like, "Can I come by right now?" And he's like, "Nah, he'll be home tomorrow or whatever. Like he's at work right now. He'll be back in the morning. Come by tomorrow." So I was supposed to come by the next day. Well, their house got raided that night, and the crocodile got took. Well, I'm pretty sure it was an alligator, but I was about to get free alligator.
Why did this house get raided?
Shit, I don't know. I didn't ask.
It wasn't over the alligator, was it?
No. It's totally
Okay.
something else.
Would like to put out there for the record, if Arizona Game and Fish ever sees this, I do not keep anything that is not allowed here.
You guys are allowed sulcatas or no?
Yeah, we're allowed sulcatas, but that's one of those conversations that might get me in trouble with the community because I am totally against fucking keeping and breeding them 100%.
So
Why?
I have one. Right?
Explain yourself.
I think they're super
Because
awesome, but
if I go down to the
Yeah,
Arizona
yeah.
sanctuary here,
yeah,
and their number one fucking animal that gets shit on is sulcatas. They get abandoned. They get left out in the fucking wild. There's all kinds of reasons why sulcatas should come to an end. They're one of the most irresponsibly kept fucking animals in the world.
I totally think it's not a good pet to have, right? Unless you're like knowing what you're getting into. One, they're assholes. They dig like a motherfucker. Two, they are super strong. They will rearrange your patio if you have them in your backyard. Right? They're hella strong. And they eat a lot. So you got to make sure that you're feeding them properly. But I think they're super cool. But yeah, another thing is like that's the number one pet that like I think people buy when it's small and cute. And then once it's like 10 years old, they're like, fuck, I don't want this thing no more.
Exactly. They go from this cute little tortoise to this ginormous 200-pound animal, and people are like in the process of it getting to 200 pounds. They're like, oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Let me go
mine's
get
like 35 pounds, and that motherfucker is so strong, it is ridiculous.
Here, Chris, PM Jess about the sulcata tortoise and how he views it too. Buddy.
What are you talking about? I got my sulcatas from Jess.
Are you going to breed them?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Why make more when you can go down to your local rescue and pick up 10 of them for free?
So one time I seen on Craigslist, like local here, they're like herd of tortoises, and I was like, what the fuck? And someone was selling a lot of 25 sulcatas that were like all 100 pounds, bro. Like,
what was the price tag on them?
They were like $100 a piece. I think it was like $2,500 for the lot.
In retrospect, that's really fucking cheap when you think about it.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's buying 25 fucking tortoises for any more than that. Like, you had to take them all.
Yeah, I guarantee somebody would talk them down to like $1,000 and they'd probably take it. Because nobody's jumping at fucking spending that kind of money on tortoises.
Dude, I don't even know how you were picking up all these things. Like, they were that big. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's just like it's an unreasonable fee. But it's like, again, that's 25 100-pound tortoises. What the hell's going to happen to them? You know, it's just like what
but
people don't think.
The ivory sulcatas are super dope, but they're hella expensive. So, like, you don't see them a lot. And a lot of people don't have them. But they're beautiful, the all-white sulcatas.
Bro, that's my son.
Or the hybrid leopard cottas.
Yeah, see, like when you get into morphs and like the more, the more things that are more desired than a normal. I mean, it's like when I see people pairing up fucking normal mainlands, I'm like, why? What?
Dude, when I see people still breeding spider ball pythons, I'm not even in ball pythons, but like anytime I see spider in something, I'm like, damn, that thing has got to be cheap. Like, why are you breeding a bunch of cheap animals? Like, so like in my aspect of breeding with bearded dragons, right? Like, I'm not trying to produce a quantity of cheap dragons that I could just wholesale off. I want to produce something that's like super badass that like I could be like, oh fuck, I'm super proud of this. Like, I'm not proud that I made 2,000 average bearded dragons, but I'm happy that I made these 20 badass ones that are, that I think are the best of the best.
Exactly. And I mean, people got to start wherever they're going to start. Like, I get it, but like, you have to be reasonable about what you're doing. You have to think about the consequences and God damn it, consequences and repercussions of what we do. And it's like, that's one of the things that goes along with US Arc, you know, like you pair up two sulcatas and what do they lay? I know they lay a large number of eggs.
So yeah, so sulcatas, right, are super easy to breed technically, right? You can keep them together and they'll just naturally breed every year. But they could lay a large amount, you know, I think like up to like 60 eggs, maybe even more. And bearded dragons essentially kind of get looped into that group too, because they're really easy to breed for like the first year, 2 years, maybe 3 years, right? You can essentially just put a male and female together, and most likely they'll just lock up right away for the first couple of years. But what people start having problems after 2 or 3 years with bearded dragons, males not wanting to lock up, and females having infertility problems because they don't go through the entire process of the breeding, right? They don't go through brumation, and that is a big part of the breeding process and the fertility process for females and males as well. So like bearded dragons kind of people think are really easy when they first get them because they just get 2 dragons and they lock up for them right away. But once you start getting into like, you know, more exotic animals that are more expensive, that are a little bit harder, some of your like snakes, I know tegus were a little bit of a struggle for me. The whole brumation thing was hard for me to get the first year, and then bringing them out and introducing them. I was successful, but it was a lot harder than bearded dragons. That's for sure. You know, and then you get in some of your even harder animals, like the Ackie monitors have been a pain in the ass for me. Other people say cool them down more. So I've tried a couple different things this year. I brought their temps down, kind of brumated them for a little bit longer at cooler temps. So I'm hoping bringing up the temperatures now that we'll get some walks this year.
Hell yeah. So let's go backwards, right?
But
Let's go back to
sulcatas are really easy. So yeah, like the reptiles that are super easy, you see all over the place. And they're like super overproduced. But
where are those
go to
overproduced
shows
animals ending up, you know?
and those animals last for a long time, and unfortunately they're super hardy, but they'll also have like a lot of problems. They kind of have like bearded dragons will have metabolic bone disease, right? But they're super hardy, so unfortunately they'll live through a lot. Sulcatas are kind of like the same way. They'll, you know, live a long time and stay alive. They're pretty hardy, but they'll have super bad pyramiding, or their shells get all crazy looking. They're not healthy. But unfortunately, they'll live a long time through that.
Exactly. And I mean, it's, you know, that's one of the shittier aspects of it. They end up in a shit situation. They're going to live through it. And then it's like, what do you do with a 200-pound animal? You know what I mean? It's not like it
eats a lot.
And it's going to end up in a fucking shit situation. And then it's going to end up with Jess. Jess is a rescue. Jess sees us day in and day out where these overproduced animals end up. It's one of the repercussions to
red-eared sliders too, bro. I get so many red-eared sliders every year, like rescues. Every shop will call me because my wife started taking in red-eared sliders, yellow bellies. And we'll just get hella rescues.
Hey, Jeremiah, I want to ask you a question about the silkies. What's your take on silkies?
You mean they're the fucking coolest chicken ever?
No, the bearded dragon silkies. I was like, why are we going back to chickens? No, the bearded dragon silkies.
Probably the stupidest bearded dragon that you could produce.
Okay.
I just they have a lot of health issues because they take so much extra care to keep them alive. It's kind of like a test tube alien animal in my. They're like scaleless rat snakes and scaleless ball pythons and stuff like that.
That's good,
Those
Stan.
animals actually thrive, by themselves. Um, Bearded dragons that are the silkies, the scaleless bearded dragons, pretty much. They have really thin skin. They have shedding problems. Like it's a bigger issue that I don't think we necessarily need. Like it doesn't bring anything positive to the table.
Okay, and what's your take on the MBD? Is it MBD?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
metabolic
MBD.
bone disease.
Let me add a second question to that question to load it even more. What is your level of euthanization? When do you pull the plug on an animal that has MBD, or we'll even go animal in general?
So I mean, I've never actually had to put an animal to sleep because it had MBD. I have nursed a couple animals back from MBD, and it's pretty simple with bearded dragons. You just have to go to your vet, and they'll give you a liquid calcium that's diluted to the size of the animal, and usually feed it to the animal 2 times a day with a liquid diet for about 30 days. It's usually not too bad. If an animal is like all deformed or whatever, I don't euthanize them. I will get them back to eating on a healthy regimen and feeling good, and then usually you could find a pet only home, or I will just give it to the local pet store that'll find a local home for it, free of charge usually. Maybe like a $30 adoption charge or some shit. I don't know what the pet store does, but no, I don't euthanize for MBD at all. I've had like baby bearded dragons not make it. Like they just from the get go out of the egg they weren't like strong eaters and they'll pass away. And I'll feed those to my Ackie monitors and people like lose their shit. But
Cycle of life.
yeah, I don't actually euthanize anything. I don't even remember the last thing that I had euthanized.
So let's backtrack a second. How does one prevent MBD?
Proper UVB lighting, and calcium and vitamin regimen. As long as you're giving it D3 calcium and you're making sure that it's not you're not overloading it with the D3, and then it has proper UVB, and then lighting and food so it's able to break everything down. It's really simple, but super people make it super complicated. It's a few things that you just have to keep track of and make sure that you're on top of, and for the most part you'll be just fine. Chameleons are much more susceptible to MBD. You got to be on top of that a lot more, but bearded dragons are pretty good. I think most people might give too much vitamins and it could be detrimental to the process, but that's just them being scared that they don't want to give their animal MBD. They think that they're doing the right thing by maybe giving it more vitamins, not knowing what they're doing. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty simple to make sure your animal doesn't get it, but it still happens quite often.
Okay, so before we get to these next two questions for you, Jeremiah, I want you right now to, tell people where they can find you, your podcast. Give yourself a
So,
shout. Go ahead.
uh, red
Shameless
zone, red zone underscore reptiles on Instagram. Um, we also have the Pagona Experience Instagram page. The podcast is the Pagona Experience. We do it on the Red Zone Reptile page. The most of our episodes are on YouTube, and maybe the last 5 or 6 episodes have been getting uploaded to Spotify, so you can catch us on Spotify and just listen to the audios. But yeah, so that's mostly Instagram, YouTube. You can reach out to me anytime if you guys ever have any questions. If I don't know it, I can definitely direct you in the right direction.
Oh yeah. If you ain't following Jeremiah on Instagram, go follow him right now.
For real, follow like his podcast too. I mean, it's always about beardy people. So much knowledge on there, dude. Like I've listened to them, and that's why I got into beardies too. That's why I got the zeros and stuff like that. But also, I'm gonna shout out our sponsors right now. At this time, we got W, the energy drink powder mix, sponsoring us. We also got Me Familia, and then the Reptile Crew. And then she's not a sponsor, but I'm gonna shout her out, Mega Conda. Megan, thank you for the shirt. Love it.
I got a mega condo for you.
Oh my god.
We gotta go back and sort that out.
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna hit you. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first, Princess.
All right. So, what would you change in this hobby/industry, meaning husbandry, negativity? Like, what would you change? Anything, bro.
Dang. I would just change like how easy I guess it is to obtain reptiles, right? Like I would I want people to want to be more educated before they buy animals like as gifts or stuff like that. I wish that would just like end, like people wouldn't buy animals as gifts for their kids or whatever. And if they were gonna buy them for their kids, that they're ready to do the work for the education, so that the animal's not the one suffering. So I just wish people would want to be more educated about what they're doing.
Hell yeah. Well, fucking great answer. I love that.
Right. Get your research done. Yep. Got it. Go ahead, Lugo.
All right. My wrap-up question. If you could change only one law that applies to all 50 states as far as reptiles go, what is that law?
Oh, that's fucking stupid easy. Snapping turtles would be legal in all 50 states.
Fuck yeah.
Really? What about your kangaroo?
I said reptiles, fool, not mammals.
Oh, you did. My bad.
Damn. Can't do nothing with your ass.
I thought you said any animal. My bad.
All right. Well, those were the wrap-up questions. Okay.
Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on,
Jeremiah. Instagram, Facebook, or Instagram and YouTube. Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you. It's a badass live tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a great time.
Hell yeah, it was. I had fun. You have a good one, bro.
Yep. Have a good night, everybody.
He already said that, Jess. He already said what's his next project. But other than that, we out of here. So peace. End of the night, brother. Y'all have a good night, everybody. Later.